In 1961, the author James Baldwin wrote, "To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage all the time."
It was two worlds, a black world and a white world. As a young child, I remember very well seeing the signs, and I resented it.
If you went to the Dairy Queen, white people would go in and sit down. You got your ice cream at a window.
I never rode a bus because I knew I'd have to sit in the back. I didn't go downtown to the movie theaters because I'd have to sit in the Jim Crow Gallery.
I remember on one occasion I tried to go to the county library, and we couldn't even go in and check out of a book.
That did not change until the Civil Rights Movement.
In the early 1960s, young people would take the lead in the battle for racial equality. Federal courts had ruled that segregated waiting areas in bus stations were illegal, but the law was not being enforced. To pressure the Kennedy administration to intervene, activists rode public buses into the Deep South to integrate the facilities. Outside of Anniston, Alabama, the bus carrying the first group of self-proclaimed Freedom Riders was firebombed.
By the time the Freedom Ride started, there was a realization that some of us would have to die, and that we should not fear death. And we liken this very much to military service, that if you serve your country in the military, you might lose your life. We were serving our country at home.
We knew that this was a very dangerous mission. We felt we had a moral obligation and a mandate to make this trip.
John Lewis, then a student leader, was a Freedom Rider on a bus that arrived in Montgomery, Alabama.
The very moment we started down the steps, a mob out of nowhere, people by the hundreds, came out with baseball bats, stones, chains, and started beating us. I was hit in the head with a wooden crate, and I was left lying unconscious in a pool of blood. I thought I was going to die.
Many of the young people in the Civil Rights Movement united in an organization called the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC.
SNCC is special because we are young. We're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old. Most of us have dropped out of school, so we're no longer students, but we don't have mortgages, we don't have car payments, we don't have families, we don't have husbands and wives and children. So we can do these things. And because we're young, we're also foolish, and we're willing to take risks.
We wanted to create a mass movement. We wanted to get hundreds and thousands of people involved.
We had been talking about developing a nonviolent army that would be prepared to go into a community, be arrested, court arrest, and so forth, break down that fear of jail as a weapon, and also break down the infrastructure of the local area by filling up their jails.
All right, let's stop it right here.